The 2014 UTPA Athletics Hall of Fame and Hall of Honor class is unveiled. We'll let you know who's in. Go behind the scenes to see just how our sports medicine staff keeps UTPA student athletes in the game. Ever wonder what student athletes do for Thanksgiving? We'll take you to one of their celebrations. This is Bronc Country. Welcome to Bronc Country. I'm Jonah Goldberg. In 2007, UTPA Athletics inducted its first ever Hall of Fame and Hall of Honor classes. It has since become a yearly tradition. A Hall of Fame committee runs the process, while all previous inductees get a vote to determine each year's class. And this year's class features 2 baseball players, a pair of golfers, 1 basketball player, and a runner. For the first time since the inception of the Hall of Honor, we have 2 inductees going in together, and deservedly so. Now, let's get to know them, shall we? Lupe Canal pitched for the Broncs in the mid-60s, leading them to their first 2 playoff appearances in 1964 and 65. Canal went 8-2 in 1964 and 16-10 in 1965 to lead the Broncs to the NAIA Texas Championships. After playing professionally in Mexico, Canal went on to coach locally, both professionally and at the high school level. He was inducted into the Rio Grande Valley Hall of Fame in 2002. The timing of this induction may prove to be extra special for Canal, as his granddaughter, Alyssa Canal, is a freshman on the UTPA track and field team. Alonzo Not Garcia was teammates with Canal and played a big role in helping the Broncs to their first postseason appearance in 1964. He went on to play professionally in the minor leagues and then in Mexico from 1964 to 75. Canal passed away on December 27, 2005. At the age of 62. Rene Guillen made his mark on the Bronx track and field and cross-country programs in the early 90s, reaching the NCAA cross-country championships in 1990 and 91, while winning the American South Conference Championship in 90 and earning all Sun Belt Conference honors in 91. Guillen set what were then program records for the 4-mile and 8,000-meter runs. Guillen broke the program record for the indoor 5,000-meter run while winning the conference championship in 1991, and then later went on to break the program record for outdoor 10,000-meter run. After graduating, Guillen continued running, winning the 1997 San Antonio Marathon. Manny Martinez golfed for the Broncs in the early 70s and made an immediate mark on the program, becoming the first Bronc to ever qualify for the NCAA championships, doing so in 1971, 73, and 74. He recorded 3 holes in 1, including one to help him win the 18th annual International Golf Tournament in Monterey in 1974. Marshall Rogers earned NCAA Division I All-American honorable mention during both of his seasons with the Broncs. He led the nation in scoring with a program record 36.8 points per game in 1975-76. Rogers holds several other program records, including points and field goals made both in a single season and a single game. You can find Rogers' name in more than a dozen spots in the UTPA record books, so it's no surprise he went on to be drafted by the Golden State Warriors in the 1976 NBA draft. He passed away on June 15, 2011, at the age of 57. Nancy Verástegui is the most recent Bronc ever to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and with good reason. She qualified for the NCAA Regionals in 1997 and won Sun Belt Conference Championships in 95 and 97. In 97, Verástegui posted a career-best 223 to win the title, the 4th lowest individual score in program history. A 3-time All-Sun Belt Conference honoree, Verástegui was twice named UTPA Female Student Athlete of the Year. The first Bronc to ever win a tournament title, Verástegui finished with 4 wins and 2 second-place finishes. More on her in a little bit. But first, we take a look at the Hall of Honor. Lou Hassel played football for the Broncs long before it was UTPA, back when it was Edinburg Junior College in 1927 and 28. He later went on to serve on the Pan American Board of Regents. He established an endowed scholarship that goes to the male student athlete with the highest GPA each year. Although Hassel has passed on, the scholarship is still given in his name today. Joining Hassel in the Hall of Honor is Anne Lamantia, who served on the Pan American Board of Regents from 1979 to 82. The Anne Lamantia Outstanding Woman Athlete Scholarship was established in her memory by her husband, Joe, after her passing in 1983. It was one of the first scholarships for women at Pan American and goes to the female student athlete with the highest GPA each year.
We were able to recognize a long-deserving class of inductees this year, many of which represented the Bronx over 3 decades ago. There were so many other well-deserving candidates to consider, which is a nice problem to have. Nonetheless, based on the voting process, the committee felt that an excellent class of inductees rose to the top. We're excited to welcome the 2014 Hall of Fame, Hall of Honor inductees and their family back to campus this February.
One of the Bronx's newest Hall of Famers remains an integral part of current campus life. Nancy Verástegui is the Assistant Director for Data Center Services at UTPA, and she's thrilled to now be a part of the Hall of Fame. Elizabeth Espinoza has the story.
Collected out some awards for the summer.
From backswings to memories, former UTPA golfer Nancy Verástegui says she was surprised to hear she's an inductee for the UTPA Hall of Fame class of 2014. To this day, Nancy remembers how she fell in love with the sport.
The reason I started was watching my brother play golf in one of the, like a junior tour in Mexico, and that kind of, triggered a lot of interest on me, and I wanted to start playing and go practice with them, with my brother and my dad. So I'm actually playing since I was 9, and I started my first tournament when I was 12, and winning the first tournament pretty much triggered a big interest to continue playing. It's been a long time since I played for the university, so it's still an honor to be recognized.
During her time as a Bronc, Nancy was honored with the UTPA Female Student Athlete of the Year Award for 3 years straight. She also earned the All Sunbelt Conference NGCA Scholar Athlete Award and qualified for the NCAA Division I Regional Qualifier, which is one of Nancy's biggest accomplishments in UTPA golf.
The experience going to that tournament was really good, playing with teams, from big universities having, very big programs. It was a big experience for me.
Champions are their vision. Encouraging words from Nancy's former golf coach still lives in her mind. She hopes that present and future student athletes follow this motto so they can succeed for not only UTPA, but for themselves.
Just try to give your best as much as possible. It's always, rewarding at the end, for personal experience. And you get to have a lot of friends at the end and make that connection with people from, other parts of Texas or, whichever where you're playing. And never give up.
In the end, Nancy still considers herself a Bronc.
I really feel honored to be inducted to the Hall of Fame, to be recognized for the performance that I did. It's always, satisfying to have someone see what you did and what you tried to do, and trying to always place the name of University of Texas Pan American on the leaderboard.
For Bronc Country, I'm Elizabeth Espinoza.
Bronx basketball on the hardwood over the last week. Next on Bronc Country, we take you to Illinois for highlights from the week that was in Bronx basketball. This commercial brought to you by Lax Furniture, an official sponsor of the University of Texas Pan American Intercollegiate Athletics.
Brave and bold, silver and gold.
We're on a mission. Aggie up.
Bronc Country just got a whole lot bigger.
Mighty Wolverines of UVU.
Join the herd. Lopes up.
Bold moves, big season, grew up.
We are the new gold standard.
We will be champions.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
The UTPA men's and women's basketball teams hit the road over Thanksgiving, with the men finishing up a 7-game swing and the women opening up a 5-game road trip. We start with the men, who went to Lamar the day before Thanksgiving, and set up a good holiday with a 66-61 win. Shaq Hines posted his first career double-double with career highs in points with 18 and rebounds with 11. He also had 2 assists, 2 steals, and a block for good measure. Javon Farrell led the way with his third 20-point-plus game of the season to go with 7 boards. After filling up on Turkey, the Broncs made their way to Bradley, where the Braves jumped out to a 14-0 lead. The Broncs, undeterred. Javon Farrell with the layup makes it 14-5. After back-to-back baskets by the Braves, Josh Cleveland with the putback gets the Broncs within 11. 4 minutes later, Farrell brings the Broncs within 8. And then after a couple of free throws by Farrell, Shaq Boga with the steal, coast to coast for the layup, caps a 9-0 run, brings the Broncs within 18-14. The Braves scored the next 5, but here comes Farrell. Keeps it within 6. And then after an Omari Greer 3, Farrell gets the Broncs within 26-19. The Braves push their lead to as many as 15 around halftime. 7.5 minutes into the second, the Broncs are down 14, but look at Boga, the hoop and the harm. He hits the free throw, and here come the Broncs. Next time down the court, he was a rocker, and I am too. Oh, Cleveland rocks the rim. It's 48-37. And on the ensuing possession, Farrell with a 3-point play of his own. Broncs go within 8 with 11:45 left, but the Braves go on to win 74-54. Boga tied his career high with 17 points. He dished out 5 assists and had 3 steals without making a turnover. Farrell in double figures for the 8th straight game with 15 points. And how about Cleveland? Ties his career high with 11 rebounds. The Broncs finished up the trip at SIU Edwardsville, and this was a game of runs. The Broncs had the first run, and it started right away as Shaq Boga makes it 2-0. Next time down the court, Javon Farrell. 4-0 Broncs. Cougars pull within 1, but here comes Josh Cleveland. And then L.J. McIntosh. Broncs up 5. Lead cut to 3, but Cleveland hits the layup. Lori Toivonen nails the basket. And then Shaq Boga for 3. Broncs up 15-5. The Cougars responded in a big way, going on a 34-8 run to take a 16-point lead. But midway through the second, here comes the Broncs. Javon Farrell with back-to-back baskets to make it a 12-point game. And then after a Shaq Hines jumper, we're back to Farrell. Broncs within 8. Boga brings the Broncs within 6. And then Farrell makes it a 4-point game. A little later on, Broncs down 2. Boga for the lead. 42-41 Broncs. Caps a 19-2 run. The last 5 minutes saw 5 lead changes, including right here. Boga puts the Broncs up 44-43. And then we go to the other Shaq. Hines puts the Broncs up 46-45 with 2:40 to go. But the Cougars come back to win 55-49. Boga led the Broncs with a career-high tying 17 points. How about Javon Farrell? In his 5th year, still coming up with firsts, his first career double-double with 15 points and a career-high 12 rebounds. Here's a look at the WAC non-conference standings. New Mexico State off to a torrid start with Bakersfield close behind. The Broncs right in the middle of the pack, off to their best start in 6 years. The Broncs already with 2 road wins, their best road start since the 1989-90 season. The Broncs return home on Saturday at 7 p.m. against UTSA. We switch gears and take a look at how UTPA women's basketball is doing. The Broncs had an interesting schedule at the UTSA Thanksgiving Classic over the weekend, playing Friday at 6 p.m. and then Saturday at 10:40 p.m. We started with Friday against Norfolk State, and the Broncs started the tournament on the right foot, beating the Spartans 50-36. The most impressive number in the box might be the one you don't see, as Brittany Bush was oh so close to a triple-double. You see the 8 points and 9 rebounds, but get this, 7 blocks. Ties for the 4th most blocks in the game in program history. It's the most blocks in the game by a Bronc in 6.5 years, and the most by anyone in the WAC this year. Bush leads the WAC in blocks per game at nearly 3. So what could Bush do for an encore? How about helping the Broncs to another big win, 70-47 over Northern Iowa, by recording her first career double-double. New career highs in scoring with 17 points and rebounding with 14 to go with 3 more blocks. Bush went 7 for 17 from the field in the game. Here's a look at the WAC non-conference standings. The Broncs have the best winning percentage among postseason eligible teams. With 4 wins already, the Broncs are off to their best start in 3 years. The Broncs visit Texas A&M Corpus Christi on Sunday. Now, if you want to see Broncs men's and women's basketball facing off against WAC competition throughout the conference season, we've got a way. WAC packs are on sale right now. You can get reserved tickets to all WAC men's basketball home games at the UTPA Fieldhouse for just $75. Women's WAC packs go for $25. Want one? Get out your phone and give the Broncs a call. UTPA Athletics is in the planning stages to build a multi-million-dollar on-campus soccer and track and field complex. This will allow track and field to host meets during the outdoor season. Until then, the Broncs host one meet per year, the annual Green and White meet.
It's our inter-squad meet. It's our annual meet that we have every year where we split the team up in half into the green and the white team and basically let them slug it out for one day. They get to compete against their teammates, but it's something that they always enjoy, something that we look forward to every year. It's an opportunity for family, friends, and fans to come and kind of see what we've been working towards all fall. And it's a chance for the alumni to come back, which is something we really want to focus on, is getting the alumni back. We may have some that may compete, but most come to watch and just enjoy being a part of track and field. Again, it's an opportunity for the track side of the program, the throwers, the jumpers, and the hurdlers to compete. Cross country is going to be hitting all fall, so these athletes haven't had an opportunity to really get on the track and compete against someone. So it gives them their first taste of competition going into the winter break.
The Green and White meet is this Friday at the UTPA Track and Field Complex. Throwing events get underway at 2 p.m., with the runners getting on their marks at 4. Admission is free, and we hope to see you there. When the discussion is about sports, the conversation invariably turns to health. If we stay healthy, we have a chance to do this or that. But who keeps the student athletes healthy? Raquel Gonzalez has more.
Broncs fans see the smooth shots and the fast plays of their favorite players, but what they don't see is the long hours and dedication put in by the hidden heroes of UTPA's athletic training program.
You empathize with them. If one of your teammates, and I call them my teammates, if one of our student athletes gets injured, and it's a significant injury, then there's a lot of emotion involved with that. We absorb a lot of that emotion because you're sitting there with them going, yeah, I know, just we can get through this, we'll be all right, we can work through the problems, just be patient, take your time, we'll follow you through this, we'll get you back, So you do absorb a lot of that, especially if it's an athlete who really struggles with their injury. Some of them are just devastated by it.
Up at 5 a.m. and not seeing home and family until late in the evening, the athletic trainers put their life on hold for the team.
Take a day in our shoes, walk with us to practice. We'll be here early in the morning at 5 in the morning, come do our job for a day. And it's not that easy. It's pretty hard.
UTPA's athletic training is tough, challenging, and not meant for your average student.
It's taking care of the injuries that are related to the student athletes, taking care of sports-related injuries, care and prevention, treatment, rehab of injuries occurring in our student athletes in our sports programs.
Student trainers do a lot all around, not just in the athletic training. We do a lot to help the teams function, really. We're not just the water boys, we're not just the towel girls that everyone always says that's really annoying, but we're really here to keep the athletes going. When they go 2-a-days and their coaches require them going to weights early in the morning, and we're pretty much just keeping them rolling through it all.
From taping ankles at a game to working one-on-one with athletes recovering from injuries, athletic trainers are vital to the university's entire sports program.
There's nothing better than having one of your athletes win or do really well and then see how excited they are. Especially if it's an athlete that's just come off an injury and then you've helped them through that injury and been there with them from the start and gotten them back to that point where they can be happy and excited about being out on the court or on the track or doing whatever again.
For Bronc Country, I am Raquel Gonzalez.
I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. I got to spend it with my family. Student athletes aren't always able to go home, though. Coming up on Bronc Country, we'll take you to a gathering of student athletes and coaches on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a holiday for spending time with your family and friends. A lot of student athletes go home, but what about those who don't? Alicia Diaz has the story.
For most Americans, Thanksgiving is about family, feasting, and football. UTPA students get to enjoy a long weekend with those they love most. But ever wonder how student athletes that don't have the privilege to go home spend their Thanksgiving? This year, men's tennis coach Brandon Stokes hosted a Thanksgiving feast and welcomed student athletes.
We all talk about having a family, and then it's how do we deliver it, right? Instead of just talk about it. So this is one way that my wife and I were talking about that we wanted to really open up our home and really make them feel like a family.
Athletes enjoyed an amazing Thanksgiving feast, a ping pong tournament, and most importantly, each other's company.
It's not something I celebrate really, but being here with people I know and I've been knowing for a while now, we do everything together. It's been kind of like in a family environment, and it feels good, it feels fine, it's good to be here.
Although most of these athletes are international, Thanksgiving is an American holiday that's become meaningful to them.
Well, I'm really thankful for the coach to invite us, for being here, being on the team, and having the opportunity and the chance to study in the US while I'm from France. So I'm really thankful for that. I'm thankful for having a Thanksgiving dinner all together with my friends, my boyfriend, and I guess it's my family here, so yeah.
To be here, I mean, with good food and something to do. To just enjoy Thanksgiving, like the holiday of it, and I'm just really happy and blessed.
I know that part of my responsibility is to be a father figure, to be a leader, to be a mentor for these student athletes. And so only another way to do that, to express it, is, again, open up the home, spend time with them, not just on court or in the weight room or on the track or anything like that, but it's actually to spend time with them in a non-athletic environment, a non-academic environment, and just hopefully connect on a human level, because that's what's meaningful, that's going to be the most significant, the most impactful moments for them really is going to be these moments of our relationship.
These UTPA student athletes may not have been able to go home this past weekend, but thanks to Coach Stokes, these athletes got to celebrate Thanksgiving not only as a team, but as a family. For Bronc Country, I am Alicia Diaz.
If you want to support the Broncs, donate to the Bronc Athletic Fund today. You can become a member of the BAF for just $50 a year. All of the money raised goes directly to student-athlete scholarships. So visit BroncAthleticFund.com today to see how you can make a meaningful impact on the lives of student-athletes.
Madness is calling. The 2014 WAC Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament. March 12th through the 15th at Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. 16 teams battle through the brackets on their way to the big dance. Be there to see who will go home the big winner.
Ticket packages on sale now at UTPABronx.com.
This commercial brought to you by Lax Furniture, an official sponsor of the University of Texas Pan American Intercollegiate Athletics.
Plenty going on this weekend in Bronc Country. We have our only home track and field meet of the year on Friday. Men's basketball goes for the season sweep of UTSA on Saturday. Make sure you come early. We have a tailgate party starting at 5. And the women's basketball team is at Texas A&M Corpus Christi on Sunday. We want to thank you for stamping your passport in Bronc Country this week. Schedule another visit for next week. But until then,
Madness is calling. The 2014 WAC Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament. March March 12th through the 15th at Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. 16 teams battle through the brackets on their way to the big dance. Be there to see who will go home the big winner.
Ticket packages on sale now at UTPABronx.com.
Brave and bold, silver and gold.
We're on a mission. Aggie up.
Bronc Country just got a whole lot bigger.
Mighty Wolverines of UVU.
Join the herd. Lopes up.
Bold moves, big season, grew up.
We are the new gold standard.
We will be champions.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.